about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Hi, y'all. It's Monday. Already. Again, it's Monday. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. Brand new biblical question. And it's a doozy, a real doozy. And it may be one of the most misunderstood Bible verse or scripture that's in the Bible. Maybe. And it's a doozy. And again, the Bible verses, the biblical questions are for those only who want to overcome their misery. It's for those who want to overcome loneliness, sadness, desperation, feeling unloved, try to please others and appease others, suicidal thoughts, anger, fear and doubt and worry. It's for those and false identities. It's for those. The biblical questions are only for those who want to overcome their misery. They are not for everyone. Most people, most human beings love those things. They love their misery. They don't want to overcome their misery, and so they're stuck into it. All right? But for those who want to overcome, you can. But you literally have to pay attention to you. You have to take control. So the biblical questions are for you, men and women who want to overcome. And so a brand new biblical question, and it's a real doozy. And it's from John 10:30. John 10:30. I and my Father are one. This is what Christ said. Christ said, I and my Father are one. What did he mean by that? I and my Father, me and my daddy, we're one. What did he mean by that? That is an amazing question. We dealt with last week's biblical question yesterday in fellowship, during fellowship. And if you were not there or you didn't get a chance to catch it live, you can podcast. rebuildingtheman.com/church. All right? Did you find God or did he find you? That was last week. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on we have every way that you can watch the show listed on Bond. I forgot. Listed on what? Let me see here. I was reading something, so I forgot what it was. Let's see. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. Amazing. I was trying to read and remember to tell you that. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. All right, amazing. 888-775-3773. It's Monday. And by the way, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. All of us, from Bond, TheFallenState.tv, TheHateReport.com, Joy Friday TV, The American Anchor Baby, Punchie.tv, and JesseLeePeterson.com. We all wish you a Merry Christmas and thank you all for an amazing year. You have no idea what so far, because it's not over yet. What an amazing year, a learning year, a growing year this has been in so many ways. It has been. There are no words to express. So thank you all for your support, your well wishes, your support, and your witness to the truth of overcoming. All right? Thank you all. It's Monday, and we take all calls on Mondays, but ladies' I take them right away, because Monday is and will always be Female Monday. All my life, I had to fight.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies. We've been lied to for so long.
Amazing. Deep in their soul, they want to be with those babies. But they've been lied to. When will you stop falling for the lie inside of you and outside of you, inside of others? You must be in control of your own life. Otherwise, you're never going to have a life. What amazing, huh? So I wanted to mention this story to you on Friday, and when we attempted to play the soundbite, it did not work, so we didn't get to the stories. We did not get to the stories. And back in 2006, and I wanted to mention this story because in hope of those who are seeking to overcome their fallen state, and they're seeking what's right first, seeking the kingdom of what's right above all things before anyone else, only doing that, putting that first. This story is very important because it's every man and every woman on this side of the planet. There is not one that this does not apply to. Isn't that amazing? And because the battle is spiritual, and because every human being is evil, and the depths of human being evil nature goes beyond words. Words cannot express how evil every man and every woman is. Isn't that amazing? And that's why it is written that you must be born again. You must return to the Father. Because every man and every woman have the spirit of the mother, which is the spirit of evil. And there's no love in human beings. Zero love. Zero love. You're not. There's a sign that look for the good in others, you're not going to find it. There should be a little sign underneath that says you're never going to find it, because there is no good in any human being. Zero. Impossible. Never will be. Ain't going to be. Stop looking for it. And work on you. And I want you to know, do what you want, though. You are not in control of your own life. And the more that you think you are, the worse you're going to get. You're going to get worse. You're going to be worse. But when you can see that you're not in control of your life, but something else is controlling you, you'll get better. But as long as you cannot see that, you're only going to get worse. Isn't that amazing? Every man, every woman, every human being on this side of heaven, on this planet, there are no exceptions. Doesn't matter where you live, what your color, how much money you have or don't have, or where you live or don't live, how many stupid degrees you have or don't have, you're evil. And you're not in control of your life. And what I'm about to play for you is in a perfect example of what's driving every human being. It doesn't have to be that way. You can overcome it if you want to. But most people love their hell, they love their misery, and they do not want to overcome it. And that's why they won't overcome it. They do not want to overcome, and they are not going to. Dangerous people. But then there are those few, only a handful, that really want to overcome. And they get on that straight and narrow, and they stay there. No matter what. They stay there no matter what. It doesn't matter how many times they fall backward, they come back to it. Working on self. Isn't that amazing? Yes, Jesse. That is amazing. So I mentioned this woman, this female, Kristen Mangum, admitted to lying on a podcast. She admitted she lied back in 2006, according to CBS 17. The woman who falsely accused 3 Duke lacrosse players of raping her back in 2006 has admitted her accusations were false. She lied. And as a result of lying, the men suffered the consequences. And human beings have been told, don't question a woman. Don't ask her why. If she says it, just believe it. So Satan telling you to believe Satan. Just because Satan said it, believe Satan. Isn't that amazing? And now you have women going around the world, destroying men and other women because they're evil, and you're not allowed to, they don't want you to question her. If she said it, believe it. Not recognizing and don't care to recognize that when she's crying, she's lying. When they are crying, they are lying. But this woman accused these people, and it was a mess back then, too. The race is divided right down the middle, whites and blacks. And it was a mess A mess. Because everybody took sides. You either took side of the black woman or you took the side of the white men who were accused. Isn't that amazing? So, according to CBS 17, the woman who falsely accused these Duke lacrosse players of raping her back in 2006 has admitted her accusations were wrong. For those who might not be aware of this story, because I brought it up yesterday during fellowship, and a lot of people had not even heard of this story. They're not even aware of it. Here is the ABC News report on this story. Watch this.
Nearly 20 years after her story sent shockwaves across the Duke University campus, the dancer who accused 3 college lacrosse players of raping her is publicly admitting this morning on the Let's Talk with Kat podcast that she lied.
I want them to know that I love them and they didn't deserve that. And I hope they can forgive me.
With a black accuser and the young and white and well-to-do men she accused, the case was explosive and in the national headlines.
81 indictments, 12 of the 18 jurors.
The college athletes, all grown men today, had hired her to dance for them at a beer party in a fraternity house. She was a college student herself at a nearby historically black university and worked as a dancer part-time. Her story eventually fell apart, and the young men who had always maintained their innocence were famously cleared.
I'm absolutely innocent of all the charges that have been brought against me.
Mangum is currently serving a 14-year prison sentence after stabbing a boyfriend. And that's where she met with the podcaster and admitted all these years later that she was never raped by the college athletes.
I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't, and that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me.
Amazing, huh? Amazing. So she was a pole dancer. One of the females that run up and down a pole. She wasn't like a real dancer. She was a pole dancer. And according to the report, she accused them in 2006, and she stabbed her boyfriend to death. They left that out for some reason. She stabbed her boyfriend to death back in 2011, according to CBS. After she accused a white boy, she stabbed her boyfriend, according to CBS. And now, oh, I lied. I'm just so sorry. One thing I noticed about, and you may know this already, when human beings say that they're sorry, they don't mean it at all. They do not mean I'm sorry at all, 0. So sorry must be another made-up word too. Just think of how many times someone have done things to you and they came back and said, I'm sorry, and they did it again. Parents say that, especially mothers, to their children all the time. I'm sorry, Mommy's sorry for yelling at you. Mommy's sorry for whooping you. Mommy's sorry, and turn around and do it again. And the kids forgive their parent thinking that, oh, Mommy love me. And the mother do it again. And now the child traumatized for life until they get old and want to overcome it. But the woman, what do you think about that? The North Carolina current governor, then the state top prosecutor, decided not to persecute the men. Watch this.
It was North Carolina's current governor, who was then the state's top prosecutor, who stepped in, took over the case from the local district attorney, and refused to prosecute the young men. This morning, he says his decision has aged well.
As Attorney General, it was important for me to take that case from the local prosecutor, do an investigation to find the real truth. It is why I dismissed the charges.
The 3 men have all moved on with their lives. One is a lawyer and another works in finance. For Good Morning America, Steve Usantami, ABC News, Atlanta.
Amazing, huh? It's been reported that the guy that was representing the woman at the time, this woman, Krista Mangum, the lawyer that was representing her at the time hid the evidence that proved that she was lying at the time. They said that the lawyer, according to the report, this man hid the evidence. He knew she was lying, and he was trying to make a name for himself. So he hid the evidence, and they later found out that he hid the evidence, and he's been disbarred. Amazing, huh? So the point that I want to point out to you. So yeah, that guy was disbarred according to Wikipedia. The same spirit that made Crystal Mangum do what she's been accused of doing, lying on those men, making that up. It wasn't in that story, but in one of the reports I had, she said she did it because she wanted, let me see, something like she wanted to be accepted by other people. Do we have that story, Nick? Where she said she did it because back then she wanted to be accepted by other people and blah, blah, blah. And she was trying to prove something. Do we?
Possibly. Hold on. I'm checking while you...
Oh, okay. They were talking to her about it in the prison. I mean, in that interview. And she said, oh, I did it because I was... And I want to make a point with that story when she said why she did it. A very good
I seem to have more clips of her. Can I play these? They're good on my end. They're working. But I'm just saying.
Which one
these are 13.5A through C through 13.5A and 5B.
Play the one where she talked about she wanted validation, that she did that because she wanted validation.
New tonight, the woman who falsely accused 3 Duke lacrosse players of raping her in 2006 admitted to lying and apologized to them. Crystal Mangum recently spoke on the Let's Talk with Kat podcast while she serves out a prison sentence for murder. During the interview, she says the 3 players took her into their home and she betrayed them by testifying falsely. The charges against those players were dropped. She says, quote, made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation.
And I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't. And that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. And that was wrong. And I hope that they can forgive me.
Even that's not true. I know she believes it's true. But this is how evil operates in human beings. Evil convinces you to carry out an act like this, falsely accusing these men. And by the way, every day women are falsely accusing men. I cannot... hardly a day goes by when I don't talk to some man that he has been falsely accused by his wife or girlfriend or some woman because she got mad at him for whatever reason and she just make it up, just say it because her heart is wicked and it doesn't bother her at all. But the point I want to make, when she said she did it because she wanted validation, it's another lie. I know she believed that is true, but it's not true. What happens, and I want to say this so that you will pay. This is why you got to pay attention to yourself. You will pay attention to you. And once you can pay attention and to see, don't forget to pay attention, to be aware, you'll see what's going on with you. So she was encouraged by evil to make up this lie. Satan told her to make up that lie. Oh, make up that lie. Tell them that these white boys did that to you. They're going to believe it. You're going to get a lot of attention. And she did it. And then time go by, and Satan said, now you can go and say you made them up because you wanted validation. You were trying to get validation. Have you noticed how evil in your imagination, it make you do things. It encourage you to do things, and then it come back and tell you why you did it. And at the whole time you thinking that you're making up these excuses, and you're not. You're not in control of anything. So Satan told her to say you made it up because you were seeking validation. And everybody seek validation, so they're going to understand that. And you, what did she say about God? Do you remember? Did that sound right?
Not quite.
You weren't paying attention?
No, I don't remember her saying God.
Oh, I thought she said something about God in there. Oh, she wanted validation from people instead of validation from God. Yeah, and there's something, always bring God in it. She didn't want validation from God at all, then or now. Zero. But if you really, really pay attention, Satan tell you what to do, and when you do it, he tell you why you did it. And because all human beings think like that, they've been driven by lies in their imagination, they can relate to it. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I want a validation too. It's all lies. And she doesn't mean anything she said right now. Zero. And the women who are going around lying on men, they don't mean it. They're not sorry. And the men fall for the lie. What a mess! The same spirit that's driving this woman, this female Crystal, is driving every human being on earth. And it makes you think that money will do it, location will do it, a certain wife or a certain husband will do it, many degrees will do it, a certain type of job will make you feel better. Travel around the world, you'll feel better. Create a major reputation for yourself. Become the governor of the city, of the state. You'll feel better. Become the president of the United States, you'll feel better. It's all lies. And you fall for the lie. What a mess, huh? The same spirit that's driving her and drove her to do the things that she has been accused of doing, falsely accusing those men and allegedly killing her boyfriend after that. What a mess. It's the same spirit that's in every human being. And every human being has anger, and anyone that has anger cannot be trusted. They are a murderer. Do not trust an angry person. When I come back, your phone calls and super chats. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. You can wake up and be free, or you can stay asleep and live in your misery. Back in a moment. Okay, folks, welcome back. I want to tell you about Goldco and why Goldco. All right? Number one, Goldco is rated X plus by the Better Business Bureau. They have earned over 6,000 plus 5 stars reviews online, and have won awards from Money.com back in 2024, Best Customer Service back in 2024, and 2023 Best Educational Resources. So before you buy, you can check them out, and then you can decide. I recommend Goldco. All right? So Goldco and I have partnered up to have a special promo, create a special promo for the Jesse Lee Peterson listeners. And that special promo is qualified accounts receive a 10% instant match on bonus silver right away. 10% instant match in bonus silver the moment you qualify, your account is qualified, all right? So go and check them out. Go to JesseLovesGold.com. JesseLovesGold.com or call 855-644-GOLD. That's 855-644-GOLD. Tell them Jesse sent you. Amazing. It's everywhere. It's in the air. Christmas is here. Christmas season, at least. It's not holiday. So when somebody say a happy holiday, give them the finger. It's Merry Christmas. The Hake Report is coming up. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning, from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And James Hake is on fire. He's on fire. The guy with the good hair. And at 11 a.m., Joel Friday TV. He black. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss it. And a brand new episode of Punchie TV. Brand new episode at 2 p.m. today. Watch this.
Hold on that promo.
What?
Hold on that promo.
Oh, you don't have it?
No.
Okay, let me know and we'll come back to it. I thought Joel told me you had it. My bad. Let's go. And then at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. He was all out at the airport last Friday. He was just all over the place. Well, you at the airport and everywhere, right?
Yeah. Oh, geez, sorry. My microphone. I was at the airport. Since we haven't been flying any planes lately,
right?
I thought I'd do a little treat with some new gear.
Nice.
We went to the airport and did a little plane spotting.
It was amazing. If you missed that episode, you can podcast it. Flying high. Amazing. So check it all out, all right? Let me go to TERRI out of Oregon. It's Female Monday. TERRI, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yay. Hi, Jesse.
Hey, TERRI.
Good to talk to you.
Thank you. You too. Amazing. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Well, I called in about that biblical question.
When Jesus said, I and my Father are one, what did he mean by that?
Okay, so I interpret that to mean that his will was completely aligned with his Father in heaven. Like there was no separation between what God wanted him to do and be and what he was and what he was doing. Like there was no he was just a perfect conduit for God.
So the Father and the Son will were the same.
Yeah, like there was no separation between their will.
And what do you say about those folks who says that Jesus is God?
I don't say anything to them, Jesse. I mean, I let them think what they want to think. You know, I understand why they think that. It's what's preached, and maybe he is. I don't know for sure, but I know that, you know, I don't really see it that way.
What a mess. Well,
yeah.
It's a very interesting response. I want to comment on it, but I got to wait until Sunday if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Thank you for responding to it, Terry.
No problem. Have a good day.
You too. Amazing. Thank you. Brandi from Hawaii. Brandi, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And are you back in Hawaii now?
Yep, I'm here.
You're back. Right on. All is well, right?
I'm back.
You're healing. You're healed from the surgery and all is well.
I am actually doing really well.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm actually calling because I am going to the school today to pull my son out, and I am going to start homeschooling him.
Really? How old is he?
Yeah, he is 6.5.
And what made you decide to do that?
When his teacher threatened to call CPS on another student's mom for him missing too many days at school when he knew he was sick.
That'll do it. Can you imagine that the public schools, which are no good anyway, they're more desperate to have a child just sit in a classroom for the money. It's about the money and the brainwashing. That they would do something like that, that's mind-blowing to me.
I'm actually really surprised he did it in front of me, a parent sitting there. And it was the day after my son missed school. He was up on, my son's autistic, so they don't always sleep very well.
Right.
So he was up all night running around. So that day the day before I pulled him out, and then when I took him back, he mentioned that Frank missed too many days of school, and he's like, well, maybe I should call CPS. And I was just looking at him like, I cannot believe you just said that the day after my son missed school. Like, what are you, stupid?
I know.
And and then there was 2 kids that were sick, and the rule of the school is that if you're sick, to keep them home. And they knew that both kids were sick, and instead of sending the mom kept one student, Frank, home, and the other kids stayed. They didn't send him home, so now my son is sick. And I had all kinds of plans this weekend. I was going to take him to a Christmas parade, and I actually told him my concerns when I saw that they were there sick. And so I'm thinking,
they don't care.
Okay, so
the one thing I want you to know, you already know this, the public schools do not care about the kids at all. They remind me of the mothers of the children. You know how mothers today do not love their children? That's why they send them to those schools, because they do not love their own children. The schools are the same way. So you got 2 devils that don't love the children. It's all about self. It's not about them at all. What did your husband say about you taking him out?
He just said that he was concerned that they were going to call CPS on us. And I'm like, it's not against the law for us to homeschool our kid.
Right.
They can't just call CPS. And, you know, because they're special needs kids, there's no limit of how many days of school they can miss. They can miss as much as they need to. They're not regular kids. So for him to threaten CPS on, I think it was like 14 days he's missed this year. And Dominic, my son, is already up to 10 days that he's missed.
So your
it's a week of school that you miss when you're sick.
Your husband is afraid. Your husband is afraid, according to you, is afraid that now that he's taking it, that you're taking the boy out of the schools and homeschool, he's afraid that the school can still come and take his child?
He's concerned. I don't think he's really afraid of it.
Oh.
He's just concerned about it.
But
I looked up curriculums, and I have a friend that
you can't even
homeschools.
be concerned about that because you can homeschool your own kid. I wouldn't let the school control me like that. That's insane.
Yeah, that's why I'm calling you. I wanted to see. I already knew what you were going to say, but you know, I was telling you after surgery I was going to go into the school system. That's kind of what I was waiting for, is for the surgery to be over, because my insurance. I work at Costco, and my insurance is better, and it's a longer drive. But we spend about 4 hours a day of just driving him back and forth to school, because it's a good half an hour away. And then, so I leave at 7 in the morning. I noticed I was timing it the other day. I leave at 7 in the morning. I don't get home until like 8:45 after I drop him off and get back. And I was thinking, like, that's already a 4 hour day. That's almost a school day, just driving back and forth.
Well, as long as, you and your husband are in agreement for this, I don't think anyone else has anything to say about it, because it's you and your husband, and you guys can decide what you want to do with your own, or should be able to decide whether you want to homeschool or put your kids into these messed up schools. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I think when he threatened CPS that day, I came home and I'm like, I'm thinking about homeschooling him and not working at the school, and just going back to nights, and because I could probably do the 4 o'clock shift to 10, still part-time, so I can keep my benefits, and then homeschool him all day, and then just leave at like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's like a whole day, and just work at night. And with the insurance is so good that I can get ABA therapy to come in. And
so he agreed, your husband agreed with all that?
Yeah, he says he never really wanted to send him to school to begin with, but when they're autistic, they kind of pressure you into it. And so I gave him a chance, and he just switched teachers this year, and it's been about 4 months, and I'm already pulling him out.
Well,
that one comment, I'm like, that's it.
Let me know how it goes, Brandon. I wish you well with that.
So I'm doing the right thing, right? I just needed you to tell me that.
No, you need
I don't really need you.
Right. You and your husband need to know what the right thing to do. Not me. I can't make that decision for you guys. Only you and your husband can make that decision, or should be able to make that decision.
I know I'm doing the right thing. I just like hearing you tell me I'm doing the right thing.
Do you like hearing your husband
like my dad? I think that I don't need to hear him tell me this time.
Do you like hearing your husband tell you that you're doing the right thing?
Sometimes.
Why not all the time?
Just like encouragement.
Why you don't like for your husband to let you know if you're doing the right thing or not all the time?
I do. I just don't always get it. I ask him, he's like, why are you asking me? Because you're supposed to be guiding me. You're supposed to tell me what to do.
But you're also supposed to have common sense for yourself as well. You can't just rely on your husband, because in spite of that order, your husband is responsible for himself, and you're responsible for you. And when things go wrong in your life, it's not your husband's fault, or things go wrong in his life, it's not your fault, because each individual is responsible for their own life, not someone else. So you need to know what's common sense as well, and not just rely on your husband, because the same God that your husband hopefully is followed, you can be of that same God as well.
Yeah, I know. I was doing the silent prayer on it, and I think that I am doing the right thing.
But you don't seem to
Actually, I know I'm doing the right thing.
You don't seem to be sure about it.
I just don't want him to fall back, or I think that it's just because he's autistic, so I'm a little concerned that I'm could go the wrong path. But I watch all kinds of videos on homeschooling autistic kids.
So why
over the weekend,
why don't you have a
better.
good conversation with your husband, and so both of you will be in agreement whether to do it or not, and that way you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him about it. I'm going to go talk to the school today, and then I'm going to make phone calls about getting. I guess there's some people I need to call at the district to get him set up.
Well, let me know how it goes, all right? But have a good conversation with your husband.
I will. And I do agree with you. A lot of these people send their kids to school just for a babysitter.
Yeah. Most mothers do not love their children. Amazing. Thank you. And let me know how it goes, Brandon.
All right.
Okay.
I will call you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 888-775-3773. Let me go to first-time caller Jordan out of Oklahoma. Jordan, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
All is well.
Good. I was actually just wanting to answer your biblical question this morning that you had.
Jesus said that I and my Father are one.
Yes.
What did he mean by that?
Okay, so to my understanding, God sent his son to save the world, and he did that so that he could have the experience of man. And so we have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and those are one and the same three things, if that makes sense. Jesus is not God, but completely, but he is the part of what makes God, if that makes sense.
And so in John 10:30, when he said, I and my Father are one, what does that mean?
He is full and completely in God.
He is full and completely in God?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And what did you say about the Holy Spirit and Jesus and God and all that? What did you say about that?
So we have God the Father, and we have the Holy Spirit or the Holy Ghost, and Jesus Christ in the Bible, correct?
The Son of God, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So all of these three things are all one and the same. They're connected to God and are an outreach of him.
An outreach of God?
Yes.
Meaning, what do you mean by outreach?
They are an extension of him.
And
I say that we have proof of that biblically. So if you look in Old Testament, where he sends the Holy Ghost to take the people who did not have the blood on the door, it is an outstretch of God. That was the Holy Ghost. Correct? Am I correct in this? Are we on the same understanding?
Well, the Holy Spirit is our teacher that
the Holy
came.
Spirit.
Yeah, he came later, but we were talking about when Jesus. The question is about when Jesus said that he and his Father are one. What does he mean by that? What did he mean by that?
He is God in the flesh. Him and God are one.
Who is God in the flesh? God is God in the flesh, or Jesus God in the flesh?
Jesus.
What
he
now?
Sent his son, Jesus.
Right.
Is God in the flesh.
And why do you say he's God in the flesh when he said he was the Son of the Father?
I'd have to pull out my Bible. He is given some of the same knowledge. We know that he is not all-knowing as God because there are some things he tells us that even he doesn't know. Jesus Christ, I'm talking about Jesus.
So Jesus was given some of the knowledge as God?
Correct.
And so if Jesus was given some of the knowledge of God, why would you call Jesus God?
I don't know a better way to explain that. He is an extension of God.
And that could be true, but you call him God. You said he was God. Why do you do that?
Oh. So I misspoke. He is not God. He is one in God. He is completely with God.
Right. That may be true,
in the
but
same mindset and communication. He is not God, but he is one with God.
Oh, okay.
He is one in God.
So there's a Father and there is a Son.
Yes.
And the Son and the Father one.
Yes.
But the Son is not God.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Why did you say he was God at first? You said, "Oh, he's God in the flesh." Why did you say that?
I misspoke. So what I was trying to say is he is an extension. He is a part of God. He is a piece of him.
Okay. And so in your response to the biblical question, when Jesus said, "I and my Father are one," and the question is, what does that mean? You're saying that he is a piece of the Father. He and the Father are just one.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Correct. So, Jordan, let me ask, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday, all right?
Okay.
I appreciate you.
Cool.
Have you dropped your anger?
A lot of it.
Have you?
Yeah, actually, that's something that I'm working on.
Have you dropped your anger?
But I don't have any anger towards God.
Have you dropped your anger?
With what?
Have you dropped your anger?
Anger? I'm sorry, I can't understand. I'm sorry, the phone's kind of cutting out a little.
Have you dropped your anger?
I don't have any.
You don't have anger?
No.
So you never get angry?
Well, yes, I do get angry, but I don't hold on to things.
But you
it's something.
So you do have anger then?
I do get angry, yes.
But you just said you didn't have it.
Not in the current moment, no.
But you do have it in the current moment. If you have it, you have it. Jordan, I got to take a break. Thank you for responding to the biblical question. Call me again, all right?
Okay.
Back in a moment. Hate news, not the fake news. Back in a moment. Starting to pull their advertisements from Google or whomever, right? Because so many conservatives are being shut down, discriminated against, shadow banned, and all that kind of stuff. So conservatives are starting to fight back. It is happening to us too. I'm just taking it one day at a time. But you can go to jlptalk.com and find all the ways to support us. You can check out rebuildingdemand.com and support our nonprofit organization. You can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, and Sunny. And also, we have thefallenstate.tv. Ring the bell.
a whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 1 of the JLP Peterson Show. It is Female Monday. Everybody loves Mondays, and we all love the females, don't we, guys? JLP will be right back to your calls. There is one line open. You can call in right now, whether a man or a woman. Ladies, welcome to call in. They get priority today, but the men can call in as well. Shout out to the men and the ladies. 1-888-775-3773. It's free via Skype, even if you're overseas. Isn't that cool? Commie Nonsense Network, CNN reports, and they call it holiday shopping. Makes me want to... Well, never mind. Christmas shopping deadlines are quickly approaching if you want gifts to reach so-called loved ones on time. To avoid potential backlogs and delays, the United States Postal Service, so-called service, recommends that ground packages be sent this Wednesday for a December 25th delivery, so they say. And drone sightings, lawmakers across the political spectrum, it's a spectrum, that's how you know it's evil, have criticized the so-called federal government's response to mysterious drone sightings in the northeastern United States. Federal officials emphasize there's no evidence of a security threat. Maybe there's no evidence that it's not a threat, though, and have so far downplayed many of the reported sightings, saying they are likely small airplanes or other manned aircraft. The drones have been seen across at least 6 states, with Ohio potentially becoming the 7th, following reports of unexplained drone activity over a critical Air Force base. What? Civilians and some politicians even calling on authorities to shoot down the unidentified aircraft. Wow. But shooting drones is dangerous and illegal and may bring unintended consequences like severe property damage and injury, according to the federal officials and experts. Don't do what Joe Biden said. Buy a shotgun, fire 2 rounds in the air, and scare off the home invaders. Buy a shotgun. Anyway, because it's illegal, and what goes up does come down, and it can hurt you, sometimes kill. And Trump's cabinet. They're fear-mongering about Trump's cabinet, the mostly sensible cabinet. Key picks, and some of them are kind of liberal. That's why I say mostly sensible. Key picks for President-elect Donald J. Trump's cabinet will continue their efforts to build support for on Capitol Hill this week. That's where the Senate has to approve them, right? 2 selections facing particular headwinds. Defense Secretary pick Pete Hegseth. They better approve him. We already gave up Matt Gaetz for them. Surrendered Matt Gaetz to the Sharks. Not going to make us give up Pete Hegseth too, are you? And Trump's choice for the intelligence chief, Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, Lord. Appearing with Trump on Saturday at the Army-Navy football game. You hear about that? Pete Hegseth is trying to assuage concerns among key lawmakers about a series of allegations against him. Tulsi Gabbard has faced, she's a former Democrat, right? Or still kind of is. She's faced criticism for her positions on Syria and the war in the Ukraine that many national security officials see as Russian propaganda. Oh, Lord. Doesn't mean anything. And RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Trump's pick to head the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Is also expected to hold meetings with senators this week as the vaccine skeptic, a skeptic, not a cynic, a skeptic, they say, aims to shake up federal health agencies, which need much needed which could face some much needed shaking. Shake them, but non-violently. What a mess. Food prices are on the rise again. Thanks, Obama, Biden. Many grocery shoppers have seen price jumps in eggs, beef, coffee, and also non-alcoholic beverages. What's behind the increase? I don't know, but it's a big mess because the economy is a mess. Thanks a lot, Crooked Joe and Evil Obama, which is the same thing. I'm James Hake. Now back to the JLP Peterson Show, Hour 2.
face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. My brand new biblical question is a doozy. It's like, Mamma Mia, hola, sí, señor, gracias. It's a doozy. And it came from John 10:30 for the Bible thumpers. Christ said, I and my Father are one. I and my Father are one. What does that mean? I and my Father are one. What does that mean? An amazing question. I'm going to get to your super chat, right? So to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. Or BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. And if you're busy selling fentanyl, buying fentanyl, overcoming fentanyl, or smuggling human beings and selling them, or buying human beings, or accusing white boys of raping you and then come back later saying you're lying after being accused of killing your boyfriend. Or hating Donald Trump and cutting off your hair. Or whatever you're doing. You can be listening to the show live or you just laying up at a beach. Listen to the hakereport.com. Whatever you're doing, you can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And Hake is coming into the studio because I have a question for him about this story I'm about to give you. And in the meantime, it's Monday. And Monday is, and always we will be, though we take all calls, Monday is and will always be Female Monday. Ooh, all my life I had to fight. You so hot to beat me.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies. We've been lied to for so long.
That's right. What a mess. A spiritual battle. Hake is here. And I just have a quick question from Hake because I think I heard him mention this on his show last Friday, but I wasn't able to hear his show because I had to go to do something. So I don't know what he really think about this. Knowing him, I can kind of figure, but it's best to know. You got to go to the source and find out. But knowing Hake, I can imagine what he feel about this story or what he think about it, his opinion about it. And then the anchor baby is going to read the story to you.
Yes.
Some of you may have heard about this. I do want to tell you, but first, let me. This is a female, white female by the name of Caitlin Clark. And she is a little basketball player. And it's real tall. And a better basketball player than the black girls. Black girls who consider suicide when the rainbow wasn't enough. But no, she's a better basketball player than the white girls who play basketball. And the black girls. And the black girls don't like her. Ever since this woman been playing, they've been having a nigga rah-rah fit. Nigga rah-rah. You know, right? Nigga rah-rah?
Close enough.
Oh, okay. Fit. And so it sounds like the pressure has gotten to Caitlin Clark. And now Caitlin Clark is proven that she's a beta. Beta! Beta. Caitlin Clark is a beta female. Beta! She's caved into the pressure of evil. And some of you might not have heard about this story, but it's very interesting. So, Nick, read the X words from it.
So,
report from it.
This post is actually Caitlin Clark winning. She received Time Athlete of the Year. And this is the magazine cover. This is a quote from Caitlin Clark from X, and it reads, "I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of these players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try to change that." So that's what she said upon receiving Time Athlete of the Year. Amazing. And then we have a clip where she doubles down, apparently.
So that's her on the picture there, right?
Oh, yeah, that's her. Caitlin Clark, Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year.
And here is a sound. She doubled down in an interview saying she's planned. She's speaking for her truth. She's speaking for her truth. Watch this from X.
Yeah, your announcement for Athlete of the Year, tremendous, incredible positive feedback. That's what we've seen across the board. There's always going to be some negativity. And I feel like you have had to answer more questions than anybody about the intersectionality of race and gender and sexuality in sport, because of just who you are and you represent the growth of this thing. And even earlier today, Megyn Kelly, she was saying that you were apologizing for your white privilege and the fact that you wanted to uplift black female athletes and make sure that they were getting the shine, kind of like your pioneers were getting the shine that they deserved. And I just want to know how you feel or how you respond to some of those criticisms when you have to deal with something that it's really not your problem. I feel like it's them looking in a mirror a little bit, but it still comes down on your shoulders.
I feel like I always have had really good perspective on everything that's kind of happened in my life, whether that's been good, whether that's been bad. And then obviously coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career. But also, I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age. My favorite player was Maya Moore. I know what this league was about. And like I said, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know there's been so many amazing black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important. And that's something I'm very aware of. And like I said, I try to just be real and authentic and, share my truth. And I think that's very easy for me. I'm very comfortable in my own skin. And that's kind of been how it is my entire life.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Nick is expert here on the JLP Show, and so is Hake. Nick is the host of the Anchor Baby Show, American Anchor Baby, and Hake is the host of an expert here, and the host of the HakeReport.com from 9 to 11. Nick, what do you think about that?
What happened, Caitlin? Wasn't she standing strong? Caitlin strong. It just seems like I really haven't followed her story, but that was my impression of her before. That she was getting beat in the face by these black players, or at least getting taunted a lot in these games. But it just seems like a cave-in, like how you said. It seems like a cave-in. The pressure was too great.
She caved in?
I'm thinking so, yeah.
What do you think about what she said right now?
I doubt that she's that comfortable in her skin. She was leaning over like Doug was leaning over on the podium when he was preaching for Jesse for the first half hour of church yesterday.
Yeah.
She was like hunching. She had a little bit of that tall girl hunch. You know how people who are tall, they're insecure.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they kind of hunch down.
Oh, that's a good point.
And by the way, very scooping neckline on that dress, Caitlin Clark. It was stomach turning, really. I still joked around on my show and called her she's still a queen, but I didn't hear her talk ever. This is probably the first time I've ever heard her voice, but she gave the impression that she was her own person and just innocent, just playing the game, not caring about that dumb political crap. But now she just sounds like everybody else. I still cut her slack. She's 22 years old, and she's in that world, and she seems to have rationalized. In my mind, I picture her rationalizing, well, her favorite athlete was this black girl in the WNBA, but she's not really being reasonable or giving herself the right credit because the WNBA is subsidized majorly. Like, it loses money. And so the men's NBA gives them like $10 billion or something like that, just so that they can have their little league. But she's the first one actually bringing money in and bringing fans in to watch. And now she's kissing up. So it's lame.
Amazing.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's pressure or if she's just been taught that, but those don't sound like her words. Talking about my truth and
what
amazing black women.
What do people be saying their truth? What truth are they talking about? Women love to say their truth.
Yeah.
They ain't got no truth.
I know.
They got nothing but lies.
Indeed. Including beautiful Caitlin.
They should be saying their lies.
Right.
They ain't got no truth. Anything on that?
No. I concur.
I think that I know that Caitlin Clark's white card need to be taken away from her. They need to take it away now. She has caved into the pressure of the blacks. She is now a beta. She's a coward. And it's pitiful because that's what white people have done for the last 70 years. They have caved into the pressure of the blacks and they become losers. White people will never get their country back as long as they give it into the pressure of affirmative action, reparations, DEI, and all that mess. It's not her fault that she is allegedly the best female player ever. And if the other black women can't live up to that, that's their fault. It's not her fault. It's not her problem. It's not even her concern. And for her to sit there, oh, my truth, she ain't got no truth. And then the other black woman was the intersection of racism,
sexuality,
racism. Gender. What's that mean? Intersection, what does that mean?
It's just liberal buzzwords. I don't even think that she knows what she's talking about.
So nobody know what they mean when they say intersection?
When they say intersection,
I have no clue.
They're talking
It sounds
about
like Spring Hill Road just came together with Hurstboro Road.
Okay, so if you're black, that's one victim group. If you're a woman, that's a second victim group. So you're a double victim. That's an intersection of two victims in one person. And if you're a lesbian, which many in the WNBA are, I heard, then you're a triple victim because you're LGBT, a woman, and a black. And so you have 3 times the anger of a regular woman or a regular black or a regular gay.
I just think for Caitlyn to cower down like this now, it's really sad. It's evil. It's sad. And it's another example that human beings are not supposed to have fear. It's abnormal. Fear did not come from God. It came from Satan. And anyone who's have fear, Satan is their God. I don't care how they read the Bible, how they quote the Bible. Satan is their God. This woman, this female, Caitlin Clark, is showing fear now. And the blacks should be ashamed is that they need the whole world to feel sorry for them, to treat them as though they're victims. And if anyone comes along, whatever color he or she may be, and they perform better than the blacks, they got to say that I'm not really me. It's not me. So that the black can feel better about not being the best. It doesn't make the blacks the best just because Caitlin Clark and others cower down to them. It's not making the blacks the best. And if they love the blacks, they would not do this. They would just be their best and let, like they used to do in the good old days, and let the black people work themselves up to whatever they want to be. This is so, it's almost sad. If I was an emotional person, I'd be in tears right now.
Me too.
Not only for her, but for the blacks too. This is why blacks are no good in America. They're not innovative. They're not motivated. They don't have any major ideas. They don't make America better at all. They never add to it. Even in the movies now, the movies are only remakes of white people movies. They're just remakes. And they put blacks in the movie to remake a white person's movie. Blacks are not even creative anymore. It's just pure evil.
It's also a lesson not to look up to celebrities, because you know how young people will hear everybody, all these authoritative celebrities saying the same thing, and the mainstream media saying the same thing, and the academics and politicians. To think for yourself and not believe some stupid comment from something that didn't even sound like from her. She didn't sound like herself. Not
at all. Because at one time she was trying to stand strong. They were throwing the ball at her. They didn't like her. Those black females were having a fit. A white person stepped up to the plate and showed that they can play better than them. And they were throwing the ball at her. They hated her. And now she's caved in.
Yeah.
I wonder why her father, does he have a daddy that's supposed to who taught her how to play? Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what he's like. I don't know their background. But he let her play with the boys because they didn't have a little girls team.
Right.
So she played with boys.
And that's why she became so good at playing. The white people, y'all need to take Caitlin Clark white card back. Take it back.
She's black on the inside now.
That's for sure. She is sad and pathetic. That's evil. That ain't love. Caitlin, you are not showing love to the white people. To the black people. Black people need love. They need somebody to love them enough, not to hate them, but to tell them the truth.
Part of why she's so liked is that she's just doing it.
Right.
She's not showy.
She's just doing her thing.
She's not talking out loudmouth and all that.
Well, she is now.
Yep.
And watch now, the black people going to love her. They hated her at first. They'll throw the ball at her. They hated her.
They'll use her against the whites.
And then now they're going to love her.
That's what that black woman who was interviewing her said. Oh, these people upset about her talking about white privilege, they need to look in the mirror.
And there's no such thing as white privilege. It's white people earning their way. Remember, in America, you used to have to earn your way? It was based on the best qualified person, man or woman. This is sad almost. It's like she's been defeated.
Yeah, it's a shame.
She's been defeated. She looked defeated now.
And phony.
She's giving it to the pressure. She looked defeated.
All hunched over on the arm of that chair.
She's been damaged. I've been damaged. Sincerely damaged. But I'm all right now. Is she all right being damaged?
She can recover. I believe in her still.
She ain't going to be able to recover. She's going to be afraid because if she recovers, the black people are really going to let her have it. And white people cannot handle the wrath of black people. They cannot handle it. The men and women cannot handle the wrath of black people. In the same way, the children and the husband cannot handle the wrath of a black woman. Oh, my God. That's evil. It's just terrible. Joel said she went to college. He said that's why she went to college. He may be onto something.
Yeah. That did sound like college talk.
It did.
She speaks fluent liberalese, but it doesn't really come out of her mouth naturally.
And that black woman that was interviewing her is pitiful. Pitiful. Remember we discussed pitiful being pitiful in fellowship once. You don't remember that?
Not offhand.
Amazing. You remember that, Anchor Baby?
Barely.
Pitiful. My trainer tell me all the time, he's pitiful. I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm pitiful. I just don't know what to say about the white people. And then the whites who do stand up, they're called skinheads and white supremacists and
yeah, I remember when Taylor Swift used to be quiet and classy.
Yeah.
Nobody knew her politics, and that's what people loved about her. And then she came out for abortion and the gays and women and all kinds of stuff and her Tennessee values.
And now everybody goes, Taylor Swift, who?
Right. Just nasty. And it was my conspiracy theory is because the whites really called her like an Aryan goddess, and they were putting up memes of her with Hitler quotes and stuff like that. And so maybe she was getting all this backlash just for being quiet. Caitlin Clark getting backlash just for being quiet and classy. Because I remember Caitlin Clark didn't go on The View. She's like, I'm not a fan. With the cackling hens on The View.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know what happened to her, but I know she's defeated.
Yeah.
She's displayed defeat. And it's sad. She's given into evil. And now the blacks are going to hate her even more so because they know she gave into the pressure of the blacks, right? They know that she's a coward. And they may praise her and tell her how, oh, you're so wonderful, but inwardly they're thinking, what a coward. People know weakness when they see it.
Yeah.
And they know that Caitlin is weak. Caitlin is now serving evil. She's giving in. Instead of just, I like the way she was doing it before, just played her ball. When they was throwing the ball at her, trying to hurt her, duck out of the way. But play your ball and let them be mad. Those black women were mad too. One woman said something like, well, history will let me know who was the best or who has been the best or something dumb.
Yeah, she said, it's not just one person, it's me too.
Yeah, something like that.
Angel Reese, I think.
Wow. That is mind-blowing to me.
She just cheapened the league again.
It's over now. She's not worth a grain of salt now.
The salt has lost its saltiness.
She's not worth the boat that she rode in on.
The light has gone out.
It has. And she looked defeated, too. All hunched down to that black woman.
It hurt my stomach.
That black woman sitting all up seeing this white woman be her slave.
Yeah, she was groveling.
Yeah, she was loving that.
I don't know how you could love that.
What's wrong with the whites?
Impulsive people pleasing, maybe.
What a mess. White people used to not be that way at one time. I remember when white people were strong, and as a result, we had a strong America.
Before women's basketball.
We need to get rid of that then. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Sarah Smile is a first-time caller out of North Carolina. Sarah, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Hey, Sarah.
Yes, I just wanted to expand a little bit on the Duke lacrosse players incident.
Yes.
Since I remember it very well because it caused so much black-white tension in the area,
Yes.
and I live not far from there.
Okay.
Jesse Jackson came to town, got in the middle of it, even offered to pay the tuition of the accuser. I remember protesters were outside the university raising so much cane that the coach of those players was forced to resign from his job.
I remember that.
It was terrible.
You're right. I remember that.
It went on, and it kind of, it was really about the DA was running for a re-election, and he wanted to get the black votes. That's what it was all about. So he was going to push that. I don't even believe he believed her, but that's what that was about.
What a
So
mess.
I wanted to say that.
Sarah, what's wrong with the whites that they so afraid of the blacks?
I don't know. I guess we're scared.
Of what?
Scared.
Of what?
Well, we've seen some things around here. We don't want to get hurt physically.
Oh, okay.
So that's one thing. So we kind of try to just stay quiet, mind our business.
Because they're afraid of the violence of the blacks, right?
Exactly. That's what it is.
You make a good point because I remember when this woman, Caitlin Clark, when I saw her on the scene the first time, the black girls were getting so angry at her, they were throwing the basketball at her. They were trying to, when she would go up for, what do you call that thing when you go up there? A layup.
The lay, yeah.
They would try to hit her, hurt her. They were really going after her in a violent way. Why do you think not all, but most blacks are so violent?
I don't know. I don't get it. I remember in high school, and I'm older. I'm in my 60s. But I would skip gym because the tall black girls would take the volleyball and just hum it right at my head, or any white girl just purposely trying to hit us in the head. And so I'm not going to class anymore. I started skipping gym class.
Yeah.
And I got in trouble for that. And the gym teacher found me one day and said, "Why are you skipping class?" I told her, I said, "I'm tired of getting hit in the head with the volleyball." And you know what she said? "Oh, I understand." And nothing was done.
Yeah.
Like the teacher was scared of and some of these kids were like, they were much older than us. They had, failed class several times. But
I remember when I went up to Indiana once, and I went to school up there for a year at Edison High School. That's my first time ever seeing how violent the blacks were. It was so bad that I went back to Alabama. I'm like, hold on, Sarah, hold on. Let me take a quick break. Can you hold?
Go ahead.
Hold on. 888-7753-773. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. One thing for sure, this is hell on earth, and human beings are evil. Evil. If you don't see that by now, I don't know if you ever will see it. Quick announcement. The Bond holiday sale is still on for the rest of this month. The Bond holiday sale, 15% off on all merch this entire month. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/store. Amazing merch. All right? 15% off on everything. And that's going to change next month, so you better be trying to get it in now. And don't be talking about, oh, where's the 15%? It's for December. And I will sign all the books to whomever you like me to sign them for. And get them. We'll try to get them back to you before Christmas. Christmas just ain't Christmas without the one you love. Amazing, huh? Nice. And this is our final week of our chalice grant. So the guy said, okay, we got until Friday. We're trying to raise $100,000. Take us through the holiday. We got bills and everything to pay like everybody else. And so he's like, a donor said, I'll give you up to $50,000, Jesse, if you can raise $50,000. And so now he said, okay, if you don't have it by this Friday, whatever the amount is what I will give. All right? Up to that point, $50,000. So go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, and make a donation. It's a nonprofit. It's a tax-deductible donation. Or rebuildingtheman.com/donate, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. Or you can mail it in, Bond, make it out to Bond, P.O. Box 35090, L.A., California, 90035. P.O. Box 35090, L.A., California, 90035. All right? We got bills to pay, payroll and all that stuff. Y'all know it. You've been helped. So give back without me having to ask. But since I have to remind you, I'm okay with that. But give back. And last but not least for now, there is a brand new episode of Punchie TV. Brand new. And it will air today at 2 p.m. Watch this.
You guys know Jay-Z has been in the news.
He's accused of R-wording a 13-year-old 24 years ago.
He was only 13 years old.
My first question is this. Why is a 13-year-old at a Diddy party?
And I want to see pictures of how she looked at 13.
There's not a person in this room who can say for sure Jay-Z was with this person or did that.
Yeah.
And the second you ask that question, all the little details before would fall apart because you can't say for sure yes or no.
I currently work with Dame Dash, who was a business partner of Jay-Z's in the past. I remember during that time, Dame was dating Aaliyah. Aaliyah told Jay, R. Kelly me when I was under 18. And Jay's response basically was just...
They got a witness? Oh, my God. Are you a witness to it? What the? That's punching.tv. I hope... oh, Lord. Punching.tv at 2 p.m. Amazing. Check it out. Let me go quickly back to Sarah, a first-time caller out of North Carolina, talking about the violence of the blacks. Not all, but most. Sarah. Hey, Sarah?
Yes.
Okay. So you talked about how the black girls used to hit you with the basketball when you in high school. You had to miss that class.
Yeah, and I forgot to tell you, but see, that was in the early 70s. They forced us to go into the black neighborhood, black school. And I think they were mad that we were being brought there, but we didn't have a choice. It was forced on us. All of a sudden, we had to leave our neighborhood and go into their neighborhood.
But they had no right to be mad because they forced busing on the people. They wanted to go into the white school. They wanted to make the whites go to their school. Why would they be mad at you about that? That's not your problem.
They didn't want us there. That's all I know. So me and my friends, we skipped class every single day in that gym class so that we wouldn't get knocked in the head with the ball. And the teachers were afraid of them because the teachers, when we told them, they said, oh, but nothing was done. So we just would skip the whole year of gym class.
Wow.
Nothing was done.
I remember when I grew up down in Alabama, but I went to Indiana to see my parents sometimes, and I went to school there for a little bit. And I went to a school, and it was the violence that came from the blacks toward the whites was mind-blowing to me. I had never seen that much violence from a group of people. And I, too, was afraid of the blacks. So I went back to Alabama because I could not handle or didn't want to deal. They were fighting on the bus, the school bus.
Right.
They were fighting in the classroom. They were fighting everywhere. And a lot of white people packed up their bags and they left Gary, Indiana, and went somewhere else, that area there. And it's horrible that America has allowed the blacks to be so violent because it's only gotten worse. It has not gotten better.
You would think it would, by now it would be better, but you're right, it's not better.
It can't get better
we
because
couldn't move, Jesse.
What?
I came from a pretty poor family. There's 12 kids. We didn't have the luxury of just packing up and moving anywhere. We were stuck. But anyway, so there's no, the white privilege thing as far as Caitlin Clark. Maybe she has it, but I sure
doesn't have it. She's lying. She's trying to appease the blacks, too.
We never had a white privilege. We were poor white kids.
There's no such thing as white privilege.
I don't think so.
It's just made up, Sarah. I remember I had a white friend in high school up there in Gary because I was afraid of the blacks. I had one or two black friends that lived in the neighborhood, but I was afraid of the black. But so I had white friends, and I had a really good white friend. And when the first black mayor happened in Indiana while I was there, and the very next day, all hell broke out. The blacks started attacking the white. My friend's family packed up and they moved, looked like overnight. I never seen them again.
For night.
We didn't even get a chance to say goodbye. They were gone. They were out of there.
I wish we could have got the blank out of there too, but it didn't happen.
What do you think about Caitlin Clark caving in to this phony idea of white privilege in order to appease the blacks?
Well, she kind of makes me sick because she's out there publicly, has a platform, and for her to do that, it kind of makes me sick because I don't know why. I mean, I heard her say something about the white privilege. I don't know where that comes from.
It's made up by the blacks and liberal whites.
I wish I had some white privilege.
What a mess.
I wish I had a card I could pull out and go, excuse me, here's my card. But that's not going to happen.
Then,
go
ahead.
I also wanted to say something before I forget about BRANDI. I need to tell BRANDI that she can teach her child better than any public school. I know.
Oh, BRANDI from Hawaii. Yeah.
Yeah, I homeschooled my son. It was almost 30 years ago. He has dyslexia and speech problems, and it was the best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
I am so glad that I pulled him, and she can do it too. Yeah, I had to take a part-time job and work at night, but
whatever it takes, whatever it takes to educate your own child or children, that's what you have to do.
Yeah. I saw what was happening to my son in school, and he was he would come home crying and, I'm getting picked on because he did have a speech problem, you know.
Yeah.
And the kids were making fun of him, and he wasn't learning anything in there anyway.
Right.
And I think I can do this. I talked to some people, and they're like, yeah, you can do it.
Absolutely. Amazing. Well, I hope BRANDI is listening from Hawaii. Let me ask, so this apology that this female made out of Duke lacrosse female accuser, should the people accept it or not? Should the Duke lacrosse people accept it?
It's a little too late.
Do you think she mean it?
Too late for that.
You think she's really
all
sorry?
All the hell she caused, back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, if she sincerely and means it, I guess, good for her. But what all she caused back then, I haven't forgot it. A lot of people haven't forgot what she caused. It was unbelievable.
I have never.
Also, when Jesse Jackson offered to send her to college, he was going to pay for it. Yeah, that never. She never went to college.
She went to jail. For allegedly killing her boyfriend.
You know what? Most people knew she was lying right when she came out with that story. The people knew it. They knew that was a lie.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, no way that happened.
Yeah.
But this DA, he was so crooked and wanted that position so bad he was going to go with it. And that's what he did. And by the way, he ended up being disbarred. He went to jail for a minute. And
I read that. CBS reported that he was disbarred. He hid the evidence. He knew that the girl was lying, but he hid the evidence because he tried to make a name for himself. But he was disbarred. What a mess!
What a mess, Jesse. What a mess.
What a mess!
I don't want to keep you on here. First time caller, so I was trying to get it all out,
well, I'm glad
I don't talk to you again. But I need you one day to give me advice for how do you, let's see, how do I put it? What do you do about an old man that has his mama's spirit?
Number one, don't judge him. And
I try not to, but I am.
And then number two, work on yourself. You work on dropping your anger, staying present with God instead of lost in your imagination. And when you have to tell him the truth about it, you be honest with him, but just don't judge him. And I promise you, you will have an amazing life in spite of his weakness, because it is an abomination against God for a man to be weak and has a family. His wife and children need him to lead the way because of the order of God. But his mother has screwed him up.
What if it's too late, Jesse?
I'm sorry?
What if it's too late for him to, lead the way and all that?
Oh, is he dead?
No. No, not yet.
Well, if he's not dead, it's not too late as long as you're alive.
Okay.
Are you working on you?
Yes, sir.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Thanks to you, I am.
You forgiven your mother?
Yeah, they did.
They did. But yeah, just realize your mother, couldn't help herself, and you continue to work on you. And when your husband is being weak, just say, you know what, honey, you need to be strong. You need to be the light, but don't judge him for it. Don't Don't badger him about it, but just remind him once in a while he needs to drop his anger. And
If I say that, he'll probably get mad. He has a lot of anger in him.
And does it bother you if he get mad?
If he gets mad at me,
right?
Yeah, his anger comes out.
But he can't help the anger because men who have anger are just like a woman. They're acting like their mothers, and so he can't help it. He's become like his mother. You still forgive him. He can't help it.
I'm going to try. I'm going to keep trying. Thank you so much.
And do the silent prayer. Stay with that, and remember to stay present.
I will. Thank you so much, Jesse.
You're welcome, Sarah. Call me again.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Amazing. Andrew, 888-7753-773. Andrew is the first-time caller out of Scotland. Heard around the world by everybody and they mama if you're black, and everybody and their mama if you're white. Andrew, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
And everybody and their other mother if you're Scottish.
That's right. Amazing.
We're all step families here, my friend.
That's for sure.
Anyway, the reason I'm calling you today is very specific. It's to wish you Merry Christmas and thank you for the help that you've given me over the last 3 years. Nothing more, nothing less.
Right on. Thank you, Andrew, and Merry Christmas to you as well. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. It's beautiful. And I don't want to bring any negativity towards the conversation because I've been listening to the show today. But one thing I will say is I believe that we have to tell the youth of today in Scotland how to be polite, because I think if we don't tell them that, they don't know that being polite is a tool that we can use, even if you're skint, even if you're rich. So there's a thing in Scotland, I don't know if it's transcended all the way to America, but it's called courtesy, costs nothing.
Yeah.
And I believe that is something that children should be actually indoctrinated into, because there's a lot of Scottish kids that screw up their lives because their parents haven't showed them how to be polite. And that's what courtesy means in Scotland. And we're not nice people. We're horrible people. So if you don't show us how to be polite, we are like renegade people.
Well, the only way they're going to know how to treat people in the right way, they're going to have to drop the anger.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Scottish people have dropped the anger, and that is through Christ. You know, we were only stabilized through Christianity.
Right.
But before that, we were horrible people. We were actually hated by the Roman Empire because they felt we were so disgusting as human beings. They didn't want anything to do with us. And this was the Roman Empire.
Wow.
Which were one of the most disgusting empires in the entire world. But they built a wall called Hadrian's Wall to keep the Scottish people out of the Roman Empire because we were so savage towards anybody that came near us.
Wow.
And unfortunately now, I know, but it's true. And the Muslims are now igniting that fire back inside the Scottish people, which was quenched by Jesus Christ. So we're in a dangerous situation where we're going to have to bring out that bloodthirsty mindset again. And the only reason that Scottish people are famous is because we are violent, essentially. And I don't want that to come out of Scotland again.
So is Christianity prevalent in Scotland?
When I was born, I'm 44 years old, about 80% of us were still Christian, but now it's down to about 50%. It's dwindling and dwindling and dwindling. And the problem here is that everybody now has become secular and everybody's become atheist, but what they don't recognize is Scottish people, and I promise you this, Scottish people are bloodthirsty people. And that's the reason why we have we have like a film called Braveheart, which is actually quite accurate in terms of our documentary of our life. And we got to the point where we hated the English, and we said to the English, we are not wanting to be around you anymore, and if you want to go for it, we'll go for it. And we killed the English people in their sleep and everything. We were blood-curdled males. And that is what the Muslims are going to noise up again in us, which was actually chilled out by Jesus.
That's amazing. And so, did you notice about the Scotland people? I remember Braveheart, and I do remember the violence. Did you notice hate?
I knew a little bit about how the Scottish couldn't be ruled over. Like, the English couldn't conquer the Scottish.
Oh, they couldn't?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, that's it. He's talking about a similar story, but I want to show you how pathetic and how petty Scottish people are, because we used to argue over like 5 meters of land with the English, and if the English were saying to us, we want that 5 meters, we were saying, no, we want 10 meters back. And that's why we argued over villages and towns until we finally found a borderline. And that borderline was actually created by the Romans, who said, we've had enough of these Scottish people. We can't deal with them. These people are essentially suicidal. That's how homicidal they are. They're also suicidal.
Wow. What a mess.
It's a mess, but I'm telling you, if you noise up the Scottish people, they are violent, horrible people. And I don't want that to come out of the Scottish nation again, because we have been stabilized by Christianity, and now we're going to be destabilized, and I don't want that to happen. I noticed that you've got like a little tartan window in your background, right? Well, we wore the tartan because we like to pull up our skirts, which weren't skirts, they're called kilts, to show the English people our genitals, to basically say to them, if you come towards me, this is what I think of you. Here are my genitals. Come for me. And we worked out how to kill the English by showing our genitals to them, and then we came from the side and slit their throat.
Wow. So I'm looking at this report, and a 2016 survey found that 59% of Scotland people are non-religious. 59% are non-religious, with women being more non-religious than men. 62% versus 55%. A 2019 survey reported that 52% of Scottish say they are not religious, compared to 40% in 1999. That's from Brave AI.
There you go. Perfect. And may I just tell you a tiny little bit of my story, please?
Real fast, because of time.
Understood. My family that I was adopted into, I'm in a step family as well. All of the legacy came from Christianity and believing in God through Jesus. And now that has stopped in my own family, and my own siblings have also become non-religious. And it is a worrying thing, especially when the Muslims are now basically taking over Great Britain. And that's the last thing I've got to say. And Merry Christmas, obviously.
Merry Christmas, Andrew. Amazing call, man. Call me again.
I will do, sir. Thank you very much. Goodbye now.
Bye. Heard around the world by everybody and their mama if you're black. Everybody and their mama if you're white. Very interesting. That's an interesting story to me. I had no idea it was that bad. I remember Braveheart. When I come back, more your calls and your super chats. Well, we're going to get to that. Hate news, not the fake news. I'll be back in a moment. 1 more hour to go. We have a counseling service. And I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that. Out of one counseling session, If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
Some serious mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Female Monday, December 16th, 2024 AD. Everybody loves Mondays. The lines are full, guys. JLP will be right back to your calls. You can call in periodically or as you hear Jesse wrapping up with another caller. But first, fake news on fake news. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN reports on that United Healthcare, all one word, CEO murder. The man accused of killing United Healthcare's CEO and why don't they name the poor CEO? Say his name. What the heck? What the heck? Brian Thompson. We say his name. Sorry. All right. In Manhattan, he remains in Pennsylvania State Prison, the suspect who allegedly did it. I don't know. While a possible indictment looms in New York as a grand jury considers evidence on charges he faces there. Luigi Mangione. Wow, they're naming the killer but not the victim. Psh. Who could receive a possible sentence of 15 years to life in prison if convicted on the charge of, for some reason, second-degree manslaughter. Why is it not first degree? It was pre-planned. It was malicious. It was clearly a hit and a nasty one at that. If he's the one who did it. Whoever did it, it should be first degree, but for some reason they're doing second degree. I haven't looked into that. He's set to appear in a Pennsylvania court for preliminary hearing next week following his December 9th arrest. Mangione has also retained a so-called high-powered attorney, a woman, Karen Friedman Agnifilo. Sorry. A former Manhattan prosecutor to represent him in New York. Amid mounting evidence in the case, she is tasked with defending a suspect who appeared to be driven by anger. Anger is evil. Against the health insurance industry and against corporate greed. Give me a break, quote unquote. As a whole, according to the NYPD intelligence report. And Cyclone Cheeto. Is that a woman's name? Cheeto usually is supposed to name storms after women because of the wrath of a woman. Reports of a widespread damage are emerging from the French territory of Mayotte, Mayotte. Pardon my butchering of the name. After a 100-year cyclone ripped through the region Saturday. What's a 100-year cyclone? Hundreds and possibly even thousands fear dead in the wake of Cyclone Cheeto, Chido, Category 4 storm with winds above 135 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. The situation is catastrophic, apocalyptic. So said Bruno Garcia, owner of the Hotel Caribou in Mamoudzou, Mayotte's capital. Pardon me. That's what he told Commie Nonsense Network affiliate BFM TV. Cheeto flattened neighborhoods, knocked down electrical grids, crushed hospitals and schools, and damaged the airport's control tower. Located about 5,000 miles from Paris and the Indian Ocean off the coast of Africa. Oh, so it's an island. Mayotte is the poorest place in the EU. It's in the European Union and has struggled with unemployment, violence, and a deepening migration crisis. So pray for Mayotte. And Gaza, Israeli Prime Minister based Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu said Sunday he had a quote-unquote very warm phone call with President-elect Donald J. Trump, during which they spoke about Israel's war on Hamas in Gaza. Netanyahu said they discussed Israel's stance on Syria, its commitment to preventing Hezbollah from rearming, and the need to complete Israel's victory in Gaza, where nearly 45,000 Palestinians have supposedly been killed since Israel launched their war against Hamas. The leaders also spoke of the need to bring home the remaining hostages in Gaza, said Netanyahu. Hamas and other groups still believed to be holding 100 hostages in the Strip, all but 4 of whom were captured during October 7th, 2023 attack. Around half believed to be still alive. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP.
Got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Excuse me. Somebody sent us a box of goodies, and I had a little piece of there. It's delicious. So I'm wrong for eating, knowing that I had to go back on the radio. Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the, this is terrible. Welcome to the third hour of the, no class. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773-888-77-JESSE. My biblical question. In John 10:30, Christ said, I and my Father are one. I and my Father are one. What did he mean by that? I and my daddy are one. What did he mean? An amazing question. You can listen to the show no matter where you are and what you're doing. If you're too busy to sit and watch, you can listen live on your iPhone or iPad by calling Listen Live on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. That's 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. All right. It's, what's today? Monday. And Monday, and we take all calls, but Monday is and will always be Female Monday. All my life I had to fight.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies. We've been lied to for so long.
Amazing. So I want to get to your super chats and then your phone calls. I have not got to the super chats. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Forgive me. And then so Hake is running in. We're going to do some super chat. Super.
Super chats.
But first I want to tell you this. This is the white privilege card Remember I said Caitlyn Jenner's card should be taken away from her? I got it.
Clark. Caitlin Clark.
Oh, what did I say?
Well, Jenner, too, yeah. You said Bruce Jenner's live name.
Oh. Caitlin Clark, white privilege card should be taken away from her. I got it. She is no longer a member of the white club. No more privilege. She could go on over to the black and be unprivileged. Just privilege. Amazing. What a sad commentary that girl has done that. I guess, how is she, 21?
22.
Maybe her father should have protected her or something. Maybe it was just too much for her out there on that court. Northern black people don't knock her down with the ball.
Yeah. Plus being in the WNBA,
And
that's just it.
And there's no telling how they were treated her behind the scene. We don't know.
Yeah. The culture of the WNBA is ridiculous.
That's the attitude of the women.
Mm-hmm. It's very intersectional.
Super chat.
Talk show on Rumble from Friday.
You got to know how to rumble.
First time here. Great show. I'll be back for sure. Thanks to Pastor Chatelet for linking me. Perfect timing. I needed this show today.
Right on. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for your support.
Curtis gave 10 coffees. Merry Christmas, Jesse and staff.
Thank you, Curtis. And I appreciate your support. Thank you. And Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Amazing.
Tony bought a coffee. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. And in case you didn't hear, oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Ho, ho, ho. Have a great day, everybody.
Amazing. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
I don't know exactly how that song goes.
Nice.
Deplorable Dave from Roseanne, California, bought a coffee. Jesse, this past Friday's show was supposed to be Get It Off Your Chest, Express Yourself Friday. However, you didn't allow Jason from Buffalo, New York, to express himself. You censored him. False advertising, in my opinion. What the?
Amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Jason wanted to tell you what he thinks of you. And you're like, I'm not interested in that. I don't care what you think of me.
Right. I'm going to tell you what I think of you. Like, I'm supposed to be, let's have a real conversation. Amazing. But thank you. Appreciate it.
Shout out to Deplorable Dave.
Yeah.
Lori bought a coffee. Hello, Jesse. I'm realizing that when I handle a situation in the wrong way, the almost identical situation reappears.
Yep.
It's beautiful because I'm given another chance to overcome and handle these things in the right way. It also makes it easier just to watch and not judge myself when I listen to a thought. Merry Christmas.
Absolutely. That's deep. Thank you. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. That's amazing.
5 coffees from Ryan Moon for the grant.
Oh, thank you, Ryan Moon. I appreciate that. And we're going to have the results of it this Friday if the Lord is willing and the creek arrive. Thank you for your support.
Tony bought another coffee. This is a test. This is only a test for your soul.
Right on. Amazing. Thank you.
Root 0075_ on Twitch. This is on Sunday. This is for church. Cleaning up after yourself is the first step to taking accountability for your existence. Talking about after Doug said he hates cleaning up, and another guy in church said they hate cleaning after themselves.
Doug spoke on Sunday for the first half hour. Amazing. Check that out. It was deep. It was really deep. rebuildingtheman.com/church. Check it out. Thank you.
Curly bought a Cash App, no message.
Thank you, Curly. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And then over on buymeacoffee.com, the world. On IG, J.91____ Merry Christmas, Bond fam.
Right on. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Trinity Valley Farm says free Diddy over on IG.
Free Diddy. It's Christmas time in the city. Amazing. Thank you.
Maxium Gain says teaching young men how to be masculine men. God bless you, brother.
Thank you. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it.
Hannes O'Callahan, 3 coffees. Biblical question answer from last week.
Last week's biblical question was, did you find God or did he find you? I don't know if I told y'all that came from Roseanne Barr, my friend Roseanne. She texted me one day and she asked, Jesse, did you find God or did he find you? I was like, wow, that's an amazing question. And I said, I'll respond to you with that when I come over. But I decided to make a biblical question out of it. It was an amazing decision, too. Thank you.
Hannah says, I don't know what came first, but I think it's both. Me seeking God and God setting me aside to be prone to seek God. But all I realized is how much I'm incapable of seeking the answers to these biblical questions. Of myself, I can do nothing. And about myself, I know nothing.
Nice.
When there's an answer, it always comes from elsewhere, whether God or the devil, but never me. You're doing well, Doug. Quite a strong arm emoji.
Right on. That was response to Doug on Sunday. You got to see that, folks. rebuildingtheman.com/fellowship. Thank you for responding to that. Thank you.
Aries 1 with a Ninjagini, no message.
Thank you.
Over on D Live.
Right on.
Lori, biblical question answer. To this week's.
Oh, this week. John 10:30. Jesus said, I and my Father are one. Me and Daddy, we one. What did he mean by that?
I and the Father are one means Jesus was a true Son of God. Jesus knew God, and God did works through Jesus. They were connected to each other. That's how I see it.
Amazing. Thank you, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate you responding.
Someone bought a coffee. Hi, Jesse. Before I forgave, I would always try to confront my fears, and I would force myself to do things that made me uncomfortable, but it seemed like this never really helped me. It was all ego. I think that enduring is the only true way to overcome our fears, not confronting our egos. You see what I mean?
That's deep. Absolutely. Stay with it, and stay with it, and stay with it. Amazing. Nice.
Raylene bought a coffee. Good morning, Uncle Jesse. What's the difference between judging, hating, and resenting someone?
Well, all three of those are the same.
If you recognize someone as evil, even if you don't hate or resent them, aren't you still judging them?
Nope. Not if you don't have an opinion. What human beings don't know, you can, when you're in the light, you can see evil and have no opinion about it at all. You will not judge in thought, eyes, words, gestures, or emotion, because you'll be able to see it without any opinion. And then in seeing it, there's an understanding that comes that I can't find words to express. You just got to see it. But you can't see it on your own. It has to be revealed to you by the light. Amazing. Thank you.
Soul Conscious 5 coffees. Jesse, incredible Sunday's church service. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your support. Stay with it.
Not a victim. When I get the mama spirit and I can't shake it, I have to slap myself across the face and wake up. Very effective.
Oh, you've been done if it does. Come on, Bo. I'm wounded septum. Right on. Thank you. Stay with it.
Jermaine, women normally say they want a God-fearing man. So to put that into terms, God above man, man above woman, woman above kids and animals. So should women be with a man they fear?
Yes. But not like physical fear, like spiritual fear, not physical fear. You got to protect yourself. Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Zach bought our coffee. Jesse, a real beta is someone who begs for money. You're already receiving money from Buy Me a Coffee, making all the money on your channels via views. Well, that part's not true. I really feel like you're being greedy and you're trying to force people to pay you by gaslighting them. You should be ashamed of yourself, Jesse. Stop begging and work for the $50,000 instead, says Zach with the coffee.
Did Zach make a donation?
He bought a coffee.
But thank you, Zach. I appreciate it.
Nice.
I know that the people who always complain are the ones that don't give. They don't give, and yet they sit. What? No.
Indeed.
That's jealous. That's all.
Dalmar Burro bought a coffee. Punchie, I got $1 million question for you. Who is your top 3 U.S. presidents of all time?
Where's the $1 million?
I don't know. It might be a false promise.
So the $1 million ain't real?
I have no idea. He doesn't say either way.
I ain't going to answer the question until I see the million. Show me the $1 million, I'll answer that question. Thank you.
Thank you, Dalmar. Hannes, another 3 coffees. Biblical question answer.
I and my father are one. What does that mean?
I think no one knows quite what I and the Father are one. Not until they experience a glimpse of it themselves by forgiving their father and mother. No wonder people get confused and think Jesus is God and all that mess. But I think Jesus meant his nature has become the same as God's nature by being still and returning to the Father.
Did they respond to the question?
Yeah.
But I thought he said he didn't think people know.
Well, he says, I think no one quite knows, but then he says that he thinks Jesus meant his nature has become the same as God's nature.
Oh, so he's saying he knows, but nobody else knows?
He thinks, but he thinks nobody else knows. He thinks he thinks that it's that, but he also thinks no one quite knows.
I'm not quite clear on the question. If you don't mind, can you make it clear your response to I and my father one? Thank you.
Thank you, Hannes.
Yeah.
Someone bought a coffee. Hello, team. Jesse, my wife really believed the thoughts and she can't stand you. Oh, that she can't stand you. She really believes that it's her God-given duty to be there for her earthly family. She asked me to go with her to her family gathering, and it's hard for me to go. Not because I'm angry at them, however, it is because of the fake love I see and how they really worship each other. Am I wrong not to go?
No, you're not wrong. If you don't want to go, don't go. You have no obligation to them at all. Zero. Your obligation is to your family, your wife, and your kids. But don't go if you don't want to go, for sure. Just don't be angry. Amazing. Thank you.
Sion. Hey, Jesse. Love you always and
hey,
miss you.
Sion.
5 hugging smiley emojis. Hands up. Black hands. Black girl. I can't breathe.
So she love me and miss me?
Yeah,
is
always.
Is she in Africa?
Don't know.
Thank you, Sion, and Merry Christmas to you. Amazing. Thank you.
Daniel on Cash App. NC governor, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, I believe, is a Democrat, but at least he did one thing right, because he was the attorney general of the state, and he dropped all the charges and said that the Duke lacrosse people are totally innocent, those white men.
Oh, this is doing that crystal Mangum mess?
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you.
Mike Young says, hey, Jesse, I don't expect Caitlin Clark to be like Trump because she's not Trump. But have you noticed the difference between Trump getting the Person of the Year from Time Magazine with no apologies of being white and Caitlin Clark getting Athlete of the Year from Time Magazine with an apology for her white privilege? Is pretty sad. When will your people stop running? James Hake.
Amazing. How come they didn't say Man of the Year?
Because they're kiss-ups. They're trying to be politically correct.
Amazing.
It's disgusting.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Not a victim, bought a coffee. Hake, if you are Scottish. ... Are
you Scottish?
I am a little Scottish.
Really? No wonder your hair is red.
Yep. I think that's why.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
Earl the Pearl, huh? Bought 3 coffees.
Huh? If you can, you can hear.
Oh, shut up. You're just stupid. Merry Christmas to Jesse and staff. I kicked $25 to Bond. Hope this helps hit the $50,000 grant. God bless.
Right on. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hannes, another coffee. Jesse, please consider making a school to train people to run a church like yours. I know everyone needs a local fellowship for them to go weekly, like 90 going north. I would pay to go to that school and be trained like 190 going north.
I don't know if you can be trained to do that. I think it has to happen on its own. But as I said yesterday, I'm always looking for men who can take over, run Bond, in case I don't want to go to work one day or I just got to be somewhere else or blah, blah, blah. I do want men to run bond. I don't want bond to ever end unless that's the way it's meant to be. You know what I mean? And we're looking for men to be a part of the 24-hour network that we're building here. 24-hour talk network with men only. Amazing. Thank you.
Nikki bought a coffee. Biblical question answer.
I and my Father are one. What does that mean?
To be one with God is to wake up from the illusion of separation. It's not a belief, but a knowing through direct experience. It ultimately means I am one with all. I am free and beyond life and death, says Nikki.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, Nikki. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Can you hold there?
Yes.
Remember where you start. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
All right.
So much. We're going to pick up. I want to get to some more calls here. Let me go quickly to Jaden. Been waiting a long time. Jaden, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yo, what's up, Jesse?
Hey, Jaden.
I just got a question about the biblical questions.
I and my Father are one.
No, it's about biblical questions in general.
Okay.
How do you? So when you're like, you say they're to reflect, right? So, and I believe that too. But how do you reflect without being like intellectual about it?
Just by paying attention to not you, paying attention to the thoughts.
How does that? What does that do to the biblical question, though?
You will get understanding will come because you will not be a part of the thought. When you're paying attention to them, you're not with them. You're not of the thoughts. So you're only of God in that moment, and the understanding will come.
You mean the understanding of the biblical question?
Yeah, the biblical question and all things.
What I mean is like, when I read the biblical question, I get a lot of like ideas about like, the possible answers.
And you let all those ideas go and just stay present.
Just stay present and think about the question, or
no, just stay present, and the answer will come to the about the question to you.
Just throughout the day, or like do I have to set aside some time, like 5 minutes?
Well, you should practice staying present at all times, and the answer will always be there for you already.
All right.
All right.
I can answer this week's biblical question because I've been debating these Trinitarians.
I and my Father are one. What does that mean?
That means that Jesus is an extension of God. So it would be like if Samurai said, I and my sword are one, right? I and my katana are one, because the katana is like an extension of the samurai. So Jesus would be the katana of God. And so is every Christian.
Amazing. Thank you, Jaden. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Isaac, a first-time call out of South Carolina. Isaac, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. It's great to talk to you, Jesse.
Thank you.
I've been listening to you for well over a decade now, and this is the first time calling.
Right on.
Getting back to the question.
The biblical question?
I think, yes, sir.
I and my Father are one. What does that mean?
Well, I think what that means, I think we need to understand the Trinity first before we go into that question. And understanding who we are as having a mind and having a body and having a spirit. Now, the Bible talks about the Holy Spirit being the mind of God. And it also talks about Jesus being the Word made flesh and God coming in the flesh. And the Lord, our Father, He is the Father of spirits, the Bible calls Him, or the Lord of spirits as well. And so as we have a mind and a body and a spirit, we are one. Just as we are made in the image of God, okay, He has a mind, a body, and a spirit, and He is one.
So you believe that you and your body are one?
Yes.
And
right here on earth, yes.
And then there's nowhere in the Bible where it talks about the Trinity. Where you get that from?
Well, it talks about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
But where did you get the idea of Trinity from, though?
Well, we were all taught the Trinity.
But
correct?
who taught you that?
Growing up.
Who taught? I wasn't taught that. Who taught you the Trinity?
Well, the church.
Why did
many churches, family members?
Why did you fall for that when in the Bible there's no teaching of a Trinity at all? Why did you fall for it?
Well, I mean, I don't believe I fell for anything.
You don't?
I mean, could you explain how?
Do you believe there's a Trinity?
Yes, I do. I believe that there is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
But that came from a teaching, right? That came from a teaching that's not in the Bible. Christ never taught Trinity. God never taught Trinity. Why did you believe that? Why do you believe there's a Trinity?
That's just what I was taught. I mean, I would love for you to explain that if there is not.
There's no Trinity.
Okay. And how is that?
What?
How is there no Trinity?
Because there's no Trinity. It doesn't exist. It's made, like you said, somebody taught you that at a church, and they made that up. They didn't get that from God or the Bible. You have never seen any teaching of a Trinity anywhere in the Bible.
So was it the Father that created earth? Or was it Jesus that created earth? Or was it the Holy Spirit that moved across the firmament?
It was God who did it, all things.
So all three of those did it?
No, God only.
Then who is God? The Father? Is that what you're talking about?
Right.
Okay. So the Spirit of God did not move across the firmament of the earth?
Well, you asked me different things. Now, let me just say this because of time, and it's not. Let me just say, but I want you. I'll respond to the biblical question. So, what's your response to the biblical question?
My response to the biblical question is Jesus being one with the Father, right? As we are parts in ourselves and understanding who we are separate parts, just as God is separate parts.
Oh, okay. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday, but I want you to know. Great. I want you to know there's no such thing as a Trinity. Somebody made that up. And if you can read the Bible till the cows come home, and you're not going to find the Trinity.
Okay. Well, I will definitely look. That's just something to think about.
Right on.
I certainly appreciate that.
Right on. Thank you, Isaac. Call me again, and I'll respond to the biblical question. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and I appreciate you and all your work, sir.
All right, buddy. Thank you. So, my friend Roseanne Barr invited me over last week, and before I went over, she texted me and was like, Jesse, what type of pie you like? Because she sent me a picture of an apple pie and a different pie. She's like, what type you like? And I was like, I like sweet potato pies. She said, all right, I'm going to make you a sweet potato pie. So Nick and I went to Anchor Baby because we both appeared on her show. It's going to air this Thursday. The Anchor Baby was a guest on the Roseanne Barr show as well. And she made 3 sweet potato pies. And oh my God. I'm like, you a Jew. How you know how to make sweet potato pies? She said, I used to hang out with black people. And so we have a picture of the sweet potato pie right there. Look at that. It's gone. Isn't that beautiful? Homemade by Roseanne Barr herself. Look at that. And so I brought one of them to the office. Look, it's gone. That's what hate kept right in the middle. No. And they used to pray for that sweet potato pie in the mold. It's gone. This pie was made by Roseanne Barr, her own hands. And so I got a text yesterday. She told me she's making some more different kind of pie. I forgot what kind she said. Let me see. Oh, here it is. She's making strawberry sour cream with brown sugar, pie next. That sound good. Strawberry, sour cream with brown sugar pie next. So when I take the pie pan back, I'd rather get me that pie. But thank you, Roseanne. That pie was absolutely good. I told her I was going to show it on the show. Well, the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. Back in a moment. I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Okay, welcome back. The Hake Report, H-A-K-E. The Hake Report coming up at the top of this hour, thehakereport.com. And at 11 a.m., Joel Friday TV. He black. Joel Friday TV. And at 2 p.m., Punchie TV. Punchie TV. Watch this.
You guys know Jay-Z has been in the news.
He's accused of R-wording a 13-year-old 24 years ago.
He was only 13 years old.
My first question is this. Why is a 13-year-old at a Diddy party?
And I want to see pictures of how she looked at 13.
There's not a person in this room who can say for sure Jay-Z was with this person or did that.
Yeah.
And the second you ask that question, all the little details before would fall apart because you can't say for sure yes or no.
I currently work with Dame Dash, who was a business partner of Jay-Z's in the past. I remember during that time, Dame was dating Aaliyah. Aaliyah told Jay, R. Kelly me when I was under 18. And Jay's response basically was just...
That's going to be his last party with Jay-Z. Oh, whomever. What the? That's at 2 p.m. Allegedly, no one knows. At 2 p.m., you don't want to miss it. And then at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. So a busy day today. All right, check it all out. And I got Caitlin Clark, white privilege card. She doesn't own any, she's no longer part of the white group. She's officially a black card. No white card. A black card. Amazing, huh? 888-7753-773. Jeff out of Ohio. Jeff, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, I want to give you a real quick update and then ask you a question, if that's okay.
Okay.
Well, I just want to let you know my wife gave birth to our fourth child on Thursday.
Is it white?
So, yes.
White babies. Congratulations. Yeah. That's amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, man.
A baby girl. So.
Right on. White babies.
That's right.
Now go get her pregnant again.
Hey, if the Lord's willing, we're going to go for number 5.
Right on.
We'll see.
Nice.
But, no, I just want to thank you. I appreciate your wisdom. You're like my black grandpa, honestly.
Grandpa, tell me about the good old days.
No, I just appreciate you kind of revealing, letting me see God's truth, and just just wanted to let you know that. Well, the first time I called, I asked you how you parent with perfect love.
Right.
And the second time I called, I asked if we should tell our children that we love them. Because sometimes I just think, what would Jesse think about this? And I just wanted to know, should we parent boys and girls differently?
No.
Or
you two?
No. Okay.
Both of them with perfect love. Now there are things that girls don't like doing that boys like doing. Like boys like climbing trees and throwing balls and riding horses and chopping down wood and all that. Girls like playing with dolls and cooking and stuff like that. But you raise both of them with perfect love. No different in the love. Okay.
See, I just kind of do what comes naturally. I've never read a parenting book. I know some of my friends
Good.
ask me, and that's kind of what I do. I am educated or whatever in the practical sense,
right?
But like a college, but so how about individual children? Is that something like you see one child act in a certain way? Because I know I have 3 girls and 1 boy, and my oldest daughter acts different than my second daughter, than my son, and then I don't know about the new baby, obviously. But
when you say act differently, like what, for example, if you can say?
Just one's a little bit more, I wouldn't say difficult, but difficult to get to do stuff possibly, where like my middle daughter, she's pretty happy-go-lucky. She'll pretty much do whatever, and, you know.
Well, you make
and
sure
my son's
that
kind of a mix.
the one that doesn't want to do anything, make sure you still have perfect love, don't have anger, but make sure she does things, because otherwise she's gonna be lazy, and you're gonna be stuck with her for the rest of her life.
That's true. She does do things. She's just a little bit more difficult to kind of push to do stuff.
But don't argue with her. But let's say you find out what her favorite thing she likes to do. She might like being on her cell phone, and so she doesn't do her work. You just say, "Oh, okay, well, you can't use the phone until you do your work. No more cell phone. No more talking to your friends or anything. But don't argue with her about it. Don't be angry about it. But yeah, you make sure she's not on the phone until she does her work."
Okay. And I hadn't woken up yet whenever she was younger.
How old is she now?
So she is 8 years old.
Oh, okay.
I got 8, 6, 4, and then a newborn. Yep.
Well, you still have time with her since she's 8.
Yeah. Yeah. I had anger then. I forgave my mom and my dad last year.
Right on.
And it was amazing. It was amazing. So, because I got to thinking, like, why do I got to forgive my mom? She was pretty good, but she recreated me in her image.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And I treated my dad like she treated him when I was younger.
Absolutely. And you pay attention to see if your wife has done that to your older child. I see it sometimes. Yeah.
I do.
Because that may be one of the reasons she's being stubborn with you, is because she's seeing you the way her mother see you.
Okay. And my wife, she doesn't fully obey me yet, so I got to say no. But when I woke up, like even with the birth, talking about thoughts, she starts to get worried. I'm like, just watch the thoughts. It helped me out so much.
Yeah.
During the birth of this child, and it was so easy. It was done in 3 hours. I mean, it was the easiest one yet.
Right on. Amazing. That's right, man. Well, just you stay present so you can see what's going on with all of your kids and your wife and yourself. And then seeing what's going on, I promise you're going to see how to deal with every situation in a perfect way. It'll be fine. Okay. And so if you notice that your wife have already turned your daughter against you, you talk to your daughter about that, tell her to drop that anger, that her mother was wrong for doing this, and forgive her mother as well.
See, I think she more resents her mom. I just see little seeds of it, you know what I mean?
Good.
For me,
let her know then, to whatever pressure her mother is putting on her, let her know to let you know about it, but don't be angry.
And my wife is so much more receptive to correction now that I woke up. It's just unreal.
Right
I can't even believe it. But you're right. Fathers love their children. It's just amazing.
Yeah, fathers do love their children. And when they leave the mother. They do not leave the child or children at all. They leave the mother.
I wish I could have seen that as a child. My parents are still together, and,
well, be glad you can see it now, because every day is a brand new day, is a brand new start. Every day You're being renewed. So just be glad you can see it now.
Very true. Well, thank you so much, Jesse. I really appreciate it. You guys have a Merry Christmas. And next time I get a question, I'll give you a call.
Right on. Merry Christmas to you, and congratulations again with the baby.
Thank you so much. Maybe we'll send you a Christmas card to Bond or something.
That'll be nice, man.
Thank you.
Right on.
Okay.
All
Thanks
right,
so
man.
much, Jesse.
You're
have
welcome.
a good one.
You too. Amazing. Let me go to Ryan out of Ohio. Ryan, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Ryan?
Hello, Jesse. How you doing? How you doing?
All is well, Ryan.
Merry Christmas to you. What are we talking about today?
Thank you, Ryan. Merry Christmas to you.
What are we talking about today?
I'm sorry?
I said, what's the topic? What are we talking on?
Oh, hold on a minute, Ryan. I thought you had a question for me. Let me go back to Kelvin out of Ohio. Ryan, Jared, find out what Ryan, I don't understand his question. Kelvin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yeah, you asked the right question this week.
The biblical question?
Yep. I
and my Father are one. What does that mean?
I kind of agree with Isaac. Well, his explanation. I kind of agree with him. So when he said I and the Father are one, basically Jesus and the Father are one and the same. And would you allow me to explain that?
Go ahead. When you say one in the same, what do you mean?
Yep. So, like I said, I agree with Isaac. And you said, and you had commented to him saying that only God created everything. So I was kind of surprised when you said that, 'cause I'm like, that kind of came with what I was going to say. So we know God spoke everything into existence, so he used his word. So everybody and their mama, if you're black, everybody and their mama, if you're white, know the verse. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among men. So if God used his word to speak everything into existence, but would you believe me if I said Jesus is the Word?
Are you responding to the biblical question?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I can't respond to the I got to wait until Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I forgot. So I'll say Jesus is the Word. But you said God only created it. But we know in the first chapter of Colossians, it says that for by him all things were created through him and for him, who is Jesus. So if everything was created for him and through him, and God spoke everything into existence, he used his word. Jesus is the word of God. So Jesus and the Father are one and the same.
Give me a short but simple response to the biblical question. I and my Father are one. What does that mean?
Jesus and the Father are one and the same.
Meaning what?
They are one. They are co-equal and co-eternal. They have been one, all in the same since the beginning.
What does that mean, co-equal and co-eternal?
So when God said, let us make man in our image and our likeness, he was talking to Jesus. But then it says, so God created man in his own image. So if he's talking to Jesus, but he's creating man in his image, they both are the same. They both are one. Jesus and the Father are one.
Amazing. Well, I appreciate that, man. I want to respond, but I can't because it's the biblical question. I will on Sunday, but thank you. I appreciate it, Kevin.
Of course.
All right, buddy. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Ray out of New Jersey. Let's see here. Ray, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Ray.
How's it going?
All is well.
Good to hear. Good to hear. I called you like a month ago. I was talking about forgiving my mom and everything.
Yeah.
And so I forgave her, and went a bit crazy. Like I forgave her, moved out, but I came back for a holiday party because, like, I don't know, I saw my brother, saw my sister. Oh boy, bad move. Not a good move.
Yeah, why'd you go back? What?
I don't know, man. Fucking. Sorry.
Okay.
That's why demons, literally. But like, it was bad, and
what happened?
You know, she destroyed everything. She beat herself. Oh man, it was bad. Called the cop. I mean, everything.
She called the cop?
Oh yeah.
On you?
And oh yeah.
What?
Oh, she was screaming. Oh yeah, throwing dishes. I don't want to, I don't want to say too much, but
what a crazy mama!
It was crazy. It was. I've seen some stuff, man. I'm telling you, I've seen some stuff, but that was like. Now I believe everything you say, like literally. Before I was like kind of like, he's kind of true, but now I'm like everything Jesse says is the word, literally. So she took me to court, all that, said all that, and but I called you a month ago, and I told you, and I asked, what should I do? Because she was bringing the whole family against me, bringing everyone she can against me.
That's how they do it. They build an army against you. Your friends, your mother, anyone that become angry at you, they have to build
my
an
brother,
army.
my dad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
All against me.
Yeah.
And but I asked you if I should go talk to my dad or whatever about it, even though he was against me.
Right.
And you said, if you want to or whatever. But so I went and talked to him, and like I don't know, everyone lives with my mom. Like my brother, my sister. My brother's way too old. My sister's too old to be there. They both live with their mom. And I was talking to my dad, and my dad was saying like, "Oh, I don't even like, really like communicate with her like that. Like I don't really like she cut me off, and she's been whatever." And so it was a total misunderstanding on his part. He had no idea that she was just doing this the whole time, making stuff up and going crazy. And oh man, it was crazy. But I talked to my dad, and it was good that I talked to him because we got it. He actually helped me out a little. He calmed me down. He went through it before, so he kind of knew what to do.
Right on.
And I just want to say, thanks to you. I mean, like, thanks. You said there's some crazy stuff, man. I'll tell you. I was in court, man. There's people next to me. There's a guy sitting next to me. He's shaking. You know how you say shaking your boots?
Right.
I was shaking in my boots. This guy was literally shaking, saying, Jesus help me. Jesus help me. God help me.
Wow.
He was shaking. Grown man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had another guy in chains, right? Chained up. Crazy shit. Crazy as shit.
Well, everyone that has anger has fear. And everyone who has fear, they're afraid of the person that they're angry at.
Yeah. No, I totally get it now. I'm not like I wasn't. It was crazy. It was good. You said the shaking your boots.
Yeah.
Just shaking your boots.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I sit there. She makes all this stuff up, and I just sit there. I shake it. But nobody knew I was shaking.
Right on. Right on.
So it was incredible. It was incredible.
Well, Ryan, you stay with it. I mean, Ray, you stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
We got out of it, and I got out scot-free. I mean, there was a guy there. He had to show up, so, if you get this, your life's over. You're never going to, your life's over. You can't do anything. And there was a guy, his wife. There were two lesbians arguing about a dog. And they were literally getting restraining about a dog, and they were showing text messages. They're like, "Oh, I love you so much. I'm so insanely in love with you that I love." And it'd be like, "Your Honor, this proves that she's insane because she said she's insanely in love with me, and blah blah. And oh my God! There was a woman judge, and she was like, please, enough, enough.
Amazing. I hate to cut you off, but I'm gonna have to run because of time. But you call
that's
me
the craziest thing.
Call me again, and you stay with it. And I recommend.
Thank you, Jesse.
I recommend do what you want, but I'll be done with my mother. Just don't be angry at her, but be done with her.
I'm not angry at all. I totally get the whole demon spiritual thing now.
Yeah.
Because it's not her. It's not her at all.
Right, but stay away from her though.
Oh yeah, believe me, I'm moving out of. I'm out of town.
Right
yeah,
on.
I moved a long time ago.
Right on.
But yeah, thank you, Jesse. I just want to say thank you for that. And Merry Christmas. And
right on.
First check for rent, second check for food, and third check I'll be sending to you.
Right on. Merry Christmas, man, and thank you. And stay with it. All right.
Thanks, Jesse. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Super chat. Super chat. Amazing.
Over on Cash App, Daniel gave another one saying, Mama Monday is better than Female Monday, FYI.
Oh, yeah?
That's according to him.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Daniel.
Apparently, women don't like being called females anymore because I keep hearing people tell me stuff like that.
Right.
Why don't they want to be called? They are female until they become a woman.
Maybe that's why.
Why?
Because they're females, and so they don't like it.
But
a woman won't mind being called a female because a woman is a lady.
She's a lady. But most females never become women.
Sometimes men will call them females, sort of maliciously.
But because most women never become, they could be 190 years old and still didn't become a woman.
Right.
Amazing. Thank you. Interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's a lady. She's a lady. And the lady is mine. What now? Thank you.
Celestial Lord, biblical question.
What would I and my Father are one? What does that mean?
Because God is the Father, and Jesus knows the Father, and he obeys the Father and does the Father's work. This means they agree with their roles as the Father and Son. On a rumble rant from Celestial Lord.
Amazing. Thank you. And I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Hannes O'Callahan bought another coffee. My apologies. I waffle. Waffle emoji.
Right on.
In response to his trying to clear up his biblical question response.
Oh, okay.
What I mean is Jesus was saying his nature has become the same as God's nature. How? By being still and present. But people get confused about Jesus' statement because they have not forgiven. So statements like Jesus are misunderstood because the darkness can't comprehend the light, he says.
Amazing. Thank you for making it clear and responding to the biblical question. I do appreciate it.
Hannes says, as for the school idea, teaching how to preach, the
oh,
church
yeah.
Way, I understand. It has to happen naturally.
Yeah.
Perhaps if it be God's will, I'll set up a fellowship here in Ireland. Lord knows we need one. Thank you, Jesse, for everything. Sorry, Hake, for the lack of pity.
If ever you need an amazing fellowship, we need it now. Amazing. All the way from Ireland. I have to come over there and speak to your group, all right? Thank you.
Joel's Mexican cousin gave a diamond on D-Live. JLP, who started BLM?
Fat, radical, black, lesbians. Amazing.
Army Ann with a diamond. Drones are sniffers for nuclear weapons. Amazing.
I don't understand the drone thing because if the drones are not ours, they're not from this country. Why don't you just blow them down? Don't we have like planes that you're supposed to sit up there in the sky really fast and shoot anything out of the sky that's a danger to Americans?
Yeah.
Why don't I think those drones are our drones. I'm not sure. I don't know, but they cannot be enemy drones and just flying around like that.
Well, nowadays,
with sweet potato pies.
With the amount of incompetence, it might be.
I find that. They ain't that much incompetent in the world. Amazing. Thank you.
1776 Christians says Jesus was the Son of God, not God the Son.
Are they responding to the biblical question?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Shout out to Army Ann, Joel's Mexican cousin, Games for Rec, Kid Combo 1.0, Potleaf, Wolf 336, and the rest of the supporters on the D-Live crew. And thank you guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Amazing. Thank you. And we love you, Sion. Merry Christmas. I love you, Sion. You be careful there in Africa. What the?
And Georgia, to be honest.
Georgia, oh my mind. You are far away from home. Or maybe you are home in Africa, right? She's from Africa, right?
Yeah, Ethiopia.
So you are home. Well, you're far away from not being home. And yet you are home. Get on the straight and narrow, folks, and stay there. You will not regret it. Stay with it, and stay with it. And you're going to see every man and woman are evil. And your relationship will change and become the right relationship. But you got to seek first what is right, and all things will be added unto you. You're not in control. You never have been, never will be. All right? So do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer, and stay present. You must practice staying present, and everything will work out for it by itself. Drop your anger. If you don't drop your anger, you're never going to be present. You can hang that up. Thank you all. Amazing show today. Author of First Time Call out of Arizona. Ryan out of Ohio. Mick, a first time call out of Washington. Rick out of Virginia. And the caller that just dropped, I'm out of time. The Hake Report is coming up now. Tomorrow is Country and Western Tuesday. The Hake Report coming up. After the Hake, Joel Friday TV. After that, Punchie TV, Punchie.tv. And after that, the American Anchor Baby. A busy day. And thank you all for your support to help us meet the $50,000 grant, challenge grant. All right? Amazing. Take care, folks. And I have, if Caitlin card, tell her I have it in case you're looking for it. She no longer has a white privilege card. She can go all the way black now. Let's see what happens. What a mess. Bye, y'all. Read or heard that some Republicans are starting to pull their advertisements from Google or whomever, right? Because so many conservatives are being shut down, discriminated against, shadow banned, and all that kind of stuff. So conservatives are starting to fight back. It is happening to us too. I'm just taking it one day at a time. But you can go to jlptalk.com and find all the ways to support us. You can check out rebuildingtheman.com and support our nonprofit organization. You can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, and Sunny. And also, we have thefallenstate.tv. Ring the bell. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father.